Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamachit. I'm going to begin with a short story. The demon Dandaka, whose name means blind ignorance, desired the goddess Parvati to be his bride. He attempted to snatch her forcibly, so she shouted to her husband, Lord Shiva, who quickly raised his trident and pierced the demon. However, the Ashura, that is the demon, had a secret magical power. Each drop of his blood that contacted the ground transformed into another Andhaka. The best way to murder him was to guarantee not a solitary drop of his blood make contact with the ground while he was skewered on Shiva's trident. Parvati realized that each heavenly being is a combination of male and female structures, the male structure addressing mental potential, and the female structure addressing material assets or Shakti. Parvati, along these lines, shouted to all the Shaktis in the universe. On her solicitation, each heavenly being delivered their female energy, who could drink the blood of Andhaka before it contacted the ground. Before long, the front line was loaded up with Shaktis of each god possible. Indra's Shakti arose as Indrani. Vishnu Shakti rose as Vaishnavi, and Brahma's Shakti arose as Brahmani. These Shaktis drank the blood of Andhaka before it contacted the ground. Along these lines was Andhaka annihilated. The Matsya Purana and Vishnu Dharmatara Purana list even Ganapati Shakti in the rundown of female fighter goddesses. Her name was Vinayaki, otherwise called Ganeshvari. This type of Ganapati is also mentioned in the Vanadurga Upanishad. Images of the female Ganesha begin showing up from the 16th century onwards. Some are the assessment that these pictures may address Malini, the elephant-headed friend of Parvati, a nursemaid to Ganesha, and alluded to in the Puranas. Again, welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. Again, I'm Yamachit, and I'd like to begin with an apology. This is actually a rebroadcast of the satsang. The original puja and satsang broadcast had trouble launching, and then it cut off early and is irretrievable. So I am reshooting this portion of tonight's program. There's already a video on YouTube saying part 2, which is the tail end of the puja, and I'm doing 27 repetitions of Vinayaki's mantra, Om Vinayaki Namo Namah. And I encourage you to launch that short broadcast and just do that chanting of the mantra while meditating on the image of the flame, which is actually still burning at this point. And I think I'm going to conclude tonight's rebroadcast with another 27 rounds of that mantra. So again, my apologies for the technical difficulties. At least I'm able to give everyone the gist of tonight's broadcast. So thank you for watching this, and do look forward to future broadcasts. So Vinayaki is a female deity in the Hindu pantheon, often considered the female counterpart or Shakti of the elephant-headed god Ganesha. She's also known as Ganeshini or Vinayaka Shakti. Vinayaki is sometimes depicted as part of the 64 Yoginis, a group of tantric goddesses who we've been honoring in this series. And she is also sometimes honored in Buddhism and Jainism as well. While Vinayaki is often seen as the female counterpart of Ganesha, some scholars suggest that Vinayaki, the Brahmanical Shakti of Ganesha, and the Tantric Yogini are distinct entities. According to J. Herbert in 1930, the Ganesh Shakti is diversely represented, sometimes as a twin figure, Buddhi, whose name means mental power or understanding, and Siddhi, meaning higher consciousness, or that second goddess is also known as Riddhi, meaning perfection. These goddesses are represented as normal human bodies, but with esoteric situations, the Shakti is named Vinayaki or Ganeshani and is represented as an elephant head and a female body, symbolizing the duality of nature. References to Vinayaki are commonly mentioned in the Puranas, the great epics. The Matsya Purana mentions Vinayaki as one of 200 celestial mothers created by Lord Shiva to kill a demon called Antaka. And this is the story that we began this broadcast with. The Linga Purana mentions Vinayaki as a demoness deity with an elephant head also. However, the Devi Purana identifies Ganeshaki or Vinayaki as the Shakti of Ganesha based on her elephant head and the capacity to remove obstacles like Ganesha, and includes her as the ninth or eighth matrika, the little mother goddesses. Although generally the matrikas number as 7 or 8 in sculpture, 8 or 9 matrikas became popular in eastern India. Apart from the classical 7, Mahalakshmi or Yogeshvari, and then Ganeshani or Ganesha are added as 8th and 9th matrikas, respectively. Vinayaki is depicted with an elephant head similar to Ganesha, often adorned with jewelry and other symbolic elements. Namaste to whoever's tuning in right now. Please feel free to say hello using the chat function on the bottom of your screen. I'd like to direct your attention to our altar. I have my favorite high altar image of Ganesha himself here, and then this beautiful print of a painting of Vinayaki. And we see her holding a musical instrument, in this case a flute. Some images do show her holding a musical instrument. She's holding a noose for binding ignorance. She's playing the flute with 2 of her hands, and her 4th hand is displaying the mudra for giving boons. And you are precious. Thank you for joining me for this, and do please see part 2 of this broadcast, which has already been launched. So the Vinayaki iconography is always very similar to that of Ganesh. She's represented with 2 or 4 arms. She's standing or seated, as well as in a dancing position. Much like the iconography of Lord Ganesh, however, the female form can sometimes be shown holding a veena, the stringed instrument that we see Sarasvati playing. So hence a link with possibly with learning and culture and the arts, or some other musical instrument. Her hands can also show Abhaya Mudra, the mudra of dispelling fear, and Varada Mudra, again, the mudra of giving boons. She may also be depicted holding an axe, and an axe we very commonly see Ganesha holding. Remember, Ganesha is the remover of obstacles, and so that axe represents the divine's power of smashing down those things that stand in our way. She may also be shown holding a staff, which represents authority, a noose for binding ignorance, Lord Shiva's trident, and then Vinayaki is also shown sometimes with a discus, a lotus, and a conch, like Mahalakshmi. And very often Lord Ganesha is shown side by side with Mahalakshmi. If we take a look at the image of Vinayaki from the Hirapur 64 Yogini temple in Orissa, we also notice that she has a big belly like Lord Ganesha. This can represent prosperity. And it can also, if she's pregnant, represent fertility. And she's also shown standing upon a donkey. And the donkey image is rather interesting because it's associated with a form of Ma Bhairavi known as Shitala. And Shitala is a goddess responsible for removing diseases. And she's identical with what this is actually an image of, a Tibetan deity called Palden Lama, who's a Tibetan form of Kali. And she is one of the Dharma protectors. And we'll actually hear a little bit about her aspect of removing illness in a traditional invocation that I'll recite for you as well. Director, I mentioned a couple of other things on our altar here. I thought it was very appropriate to include this fossilized tusk. This is a mammoth tusk from Siberia. It's the very end of the tusk. And then our combination water pot and lamp also has a Ganesha upon it. They could also be honored as Vinayaki as well. The earliest evidence of a female Ganesh or Vinayaki is a weathered terracotta plaque from Rira in Rajasthan, which dates back to the 1st century. These feminine Ganesh forms have been discovered in 64 Yogini enclosures or temples, 18 of which have been documented in India. I've been to 3 of them myself, and there's also one in Sri Lanka. And the Hirapur image of Ma Vinayaki, which I showed you earlier, and I'm showing you again, is probably the best known of her images. In some traditions, like Jainism and Buddhism, Vinayaki is considered to be an independent goddess, not solely as a Shakti of Ganesha. And either way, she's associated with removing obstacles, bringing prosperity, and enhancing positive energy, similar to the attributes of Lord Ganesha, Ganapati. Benefits of Vinayaki Yogini sadhana can include success, perfection, positivity, good health, anti-aging or preservation, attraction, wealth and prosperity, protection, and of course, as in honoring any deity, the blessings of the divine. So I'm going to conclude by chanting a traditional invocation to Ma Vinayaki, and I'll give the English translation, and then I'll finish up with some repetitions of our mantra. And then, like I said, you could also take a look at the part 2 of this broadcast, and you'll catch the tail end of the puja, some more mantra repetitions, and a meditation on our fire. So again, I want to thank you for joining me, those who are joining live, and also anyone who'll be watching this broadcast in the future. Jai Ma Vinayaki. Jai Ma Vinayaki. Jai Ma Vinayaki. Raktavanam Chatubhujam Trinatram Chandra Kekaram Kajashyam Chadaro Gaganim Pashankushadaram Suvam Varadabhayakaram Devim Ganesham Kasitam Param Dayet Vinyakim Devim Sarvak Mafala Pradam. Complexion of blood red, who has 4 hands and 3 eyes, and a crescent of a moon adorns her forehead. Elephant-headed, who kills the fiercest of fierce diseases. She holds a noose, a goad, sweets, and displaying the mudra of banishing fears, who resides in the heart of Sri Ganesh. To such, Vinyakim, who gives fruit to every desire, In devotion, we bow to her. Om Vinayaki Namo Namah. 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 Jema Vinayaki. Jema Vinayaki. Jema Vinayaki Yogini. Namo Namah. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. And just take a moment and feel the presence of the Divine Mother within yourself as well as surrounding you. And also give gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice tonight and watching this broadcast. And I want to thank you, both one person I have joining live and everyone who'll be watching this broadcast in the future. And I want to invite you 7 o'clock on Tuesday to join me for part 5 of our series, Kali for Everyone. I will be doing a meditation and mantra recitation for Kali's yantra. And that's also the subject of my second book, which is Kali Meditation Book 2, available on YouTube, or not YouTube, Amazon Kindle. So thank you very much. And again, my apologies for the technical problems tonight. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Thank you again. Have a wonderful night. Jai Ma.